Thank you for choosing my video, and if it isn't your first time, welcome back, subscribe. Today I want to talk about a video, you've most probably seen it, of a security guard fighting with some youths, in Westfields, I think the East London one. Anyway, I'm going to disagree with a lot of the people in the video, because most of the people in the video were criticising the guard and saying leave them alone, and telling them to get off him and insulting him. But I disagree, and I'll tell you why after. And I've been both a criminal and a security guard. So basically, let me play the clip first, and then listen to the people, listen to the crowd around while you're watching it, and I'll explain why I'm 100% for the guard, and like I said, I'm not being biased. I've been a criminal and a security guard,
Chill out, bro. What you doing? Let me up, boy. Leave him alone. Please stop. Just move away. Bro, let go.
Okay, I agree with the security guard 110%, and I'll tell you why. No security guard is going to intentionally start a fight, with a group of boys, whether it's 4 of them, 6 of them, or 8 of them, because there could be a chance that one of them or a couple of them are carrying knives, and you can't tell the difference between who's a group of college boys, and who's a group of, gang members, so for that guard, to have a fight with them, something must have happened. And I don't think he's going to just go up to a whole bunch of boys and start a fight with them. Maybe they're trying to steal something, maybe they were, they were walking around intimidating people. And I'll be honest, I've been a criminal, so, and I've been a security guard. So the whole thing is this, is that sometimes when you're young and you're arrogant, and you ain't got much to do, either you're bunking school or you're just you've got extra time on your hands, you just walk around, and because there's a bunch of you, you cause people, you intimidate other boys, intimidate staff, you might start breaking things, you might start robbing things, when you just walk around. And look, it's not COVID anymore. First of all, most them from the ends didn't believe in COVID or didn't give a damn about COVID, but now COVID is gone. Why are you walking around? Why are people walking around with masks? Why are they walking around hooded up and stuff like that? Why are they walking around with bellies? Most people, most older people and most younger people, they find it intimidating. But the reality is you ain't wearing a mask, and you ain't wearing thingy for COVID, or you just walking around because it puts fear into certain people. So what happens is, the thing is that I don't believe this guy just walked up to these 6 or 8 boys or whatever, or 10 boys or whatever, and just started bullying them for no reason. They must have tried to steal something, or were intimidating, or causing a problem. If I'm wrong about the security guard, I take it back. There's no shame in taking it back if it's wrong. If he started on them, which is crazy, but I don't think he started on them. But let's just say he didn't start on them. Let's just say they were causing problems, and they went to rob something, and he went to take it off them, and they started fighting him, One, you shouldn't be stealing. What? You shouldn't be stealing. It's not yours, I know when you're young, you don't have a father in your life, you come from a council estate and so forth, if you've got the power, you take things, you know what I'm saying? That's the minority. The majority go to school, college and whatever, that's the minority. But I'm saying sometimes you just take things because you can, because you've got the numbers. Like they showed in Westfield the other day. They showed in Westfield a whole bunch of youths in West London running there and ran into JD and just taking trainers and stuff. Why? Because they had the power to. So anyway, I don't believe that security guard, and you can tell the way that the security guard is fighting. He's trained. He trains MMA. You know what I'm saying? He must do a bit of jiu-jitsu. Maybe he does some boxing. Maybe he does some Muay Thai and stuff like that. Because you could tell the guy was trained. He wasn't just throwing any old kicks and punches. He knew what he was doing. So the whole thing is that, like, and people know martial arts. Most people who study martial arts, they're not arrogant people. They're disciplined because they wrestle with, they do jiu-jitsu with other people, and a lot of the time they wrestle with people that are better than them, people that are weaker than them, and like you have a certain amount of humility, yeah. Where same thing with like same thing with boxing. Even though I'm Muslim and I don't believe you can hit people like professionally fight and beat people up for money. But the training for boxing and all these kind of things and so forth, you know what I'm saying, it humbles you, yeah? Yeah? So the whole thing is that I don't believe this guy who's a security guard and he's training martial arts. He just went up to these kids and caused a fight on people that are smaller than him. He knows one-on-one he can beat them up easily. So they must have tried to steal something or rob something or this, that and the other, and then basically he tried to apprehend and they tried to rush him. What my problem is everyone in the crowd, especially mainly women in the crowd, are like, leave him alone, leave him alone, leave him alone. What's his job? What's he supposed to do? Okay, say they thief something, or they will cause it a problem. Yeah? What's he supposed to do? Even now as a security guard, like, even if you physically get into stuff with people, like, you can get in trouble and lose your badge. Like, now they want you to kind of be an observer where you just call the police. What's the point of being a security guard if you're going to call the police? What's the point of you being there? You know, but a lot of people, old-fashioned security guards, if there's people, yeah, if there's people intimidating people, stealing from people and so forth, they're going to go and deal with it physically because they're just like, I joined this job to basically to defend the weak people, or, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, to do something good, you know, look after people's property, or, you know what I'm saying, stop people from being intimidated by gangs or groups of boys and this, that, and so forth. But you can hear the girls, a lot of the women in the clip are like, leave him alone, because the guy's got him in a headlock, or he's headbutting him, or he's kicking him. So what if he was on the ground? If that security guard, they're robbing something, he tells them to stop, they don't stop, they keep on taking, he tries to stop them. If he was on the ground and they were all kicking his head in and stuff, and he didn't know martial arts, yeah, or he didn't know how to defend himself, then what? It's a win-lose situation. Either the youths are gonna win and kick his head in, yeah, or he's gonna kick their head in. There's no draw. Yeah. There's either he stops them from robbing and they attack him and he deals with it, or it's he gets his head kicked in, yeah, and ends up hospitalized from a concussion from bloody head kicks to the temple. So the thing is that, yeah, when you see these boys, yeah, and that's the difference. These are boys, yeah, fighting a trained martial artist. See, they're used to just, when it comes to other boys their age, just outnumbering them, or when it comes to, you know, older man, yeah, just walking straight through the middle, yeah, making him either come off the road or him, him have to avoid them or wait till they pass or whatever. They're used to bullying and getting their way. But they met someone who's not just older than them, that knows how to fight. So they got, in 9 out of 10 of situation with those kind of boys, and I'm not speaking from an arrogant thing and looking down from, I've been a criminal, you know what I'm saying? I've been I felt young offenders, I've been a robber, I've been a criminal, and I'm ashamed of it now and so forth. Yeah? But when you're living that way of life, yeah, especially when you're listening to like rap music and you're just living that lifestyle, like YOLO lifestyle, and you rationalize anything. You rationalize stealing, you rationalize robbing, you rationalize taking from other people because you come from a single parent and you don't have a father in your life. You make excuses for everything. And those boys were used to walking. Those boys are used to walking around and getting things their way. Whether it's going to a shop and just picking things up and taking them, whether it's chatting to another group of boys who ain't bad boys or rude boys or whatever, or roadman, and chiefing them up, whether it's like intimidating girls or whatever this time. They're used to having their way. And unfortunately for them, they met someone where the tables were turned and he dealt with them. So all these people, leave him alone. They're like, leave him alone. If he leaves them alone, yeah, they're gonna rush him. Yeah. If he leaves them alone or he doesn't deal with them physically, they're gonna kick his head in. What do you want them to do? It's only because he gave them some headbutts and he broke some, and he gave them some like suplexes, and he gave them some physical beatings, yeah, that they didn't want it. That they realized, yeah, like it's on top for us. So you would have preferred all those women and stuff, and even a guy, even there's some guy coming behind him, yeah, and he's got the guy in a headlock or he's headbutting them or whatever, and the guy is what is it saying? Like, let him go, let him go, let him go, let him go, let the guy go. Okay, don't get involved. They're the people that are in the wrong. They're the criminals. They're the ones that are thieving from people's shop and stuff like that. Why are you telling him to leave them alone? You're like, oh, peace, peace, peace. Like he's like, oh, please leave him, like leave him alone. Nah. In that situation, it's you rush them or they rush you. And like, I hope he hasn't lost his job. I hope the guys like didn't get in trouble. I hope they didn't take his badge. I hope he's still working. And I hope that taught them guys a lesson. That yes, see you lot are normally the bullies, and you are normally the guys that are intimidating people, and you guys are normally, you know what I'm saying? You know, you can tell them guys weren't normal boys. No normal boy's gonna pick up the bloody the dissector. You know, sometimes they have the red carpet and they have the red like rope, and then they have the metal thing, and then lick someone with it. Nah, these guys are violent guys. They're used to violence, yeah, but they're used to giving it out, and this time they got it. So I don't know why everyone's telling, oh, leave them alone. Like stop. Cool, man. When you're getting robbed on the street, or when these same guys decide to steal your handbags, or when these people are carjacking you or whatever, yeah, or these people come like and break into your yard, you're gonna wish that guy was around, or a guy like him. Yeah, because it's all right when you're seeing their head get bust, and you're seeing them getting headlocks, and you're seeing them get headbutted on nose and broken, and you're saying, leave them alone. Yeah, but if he didn't do it to them, they would have done it to him. They would have bust him up unconscious if he wasn't trained how to defend himself. How many times do you see security guards getting bust up by a bunch of mob youths when they're trying to do their job? Unfortunately, people don't respect. Some people they don't understand. They only understand a certain language. So I don't believe that this guy was in the wrong, and I hope he still got his job. And in fact, I hope he gets a promotion. Certain people are gonna see that. I bet certain celebs and certain people are gonna see that guy, and they're gonna offer him a job because that he knows his stuff. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I saw that video, and everything I heard from the people in that video, like criticizing them and stuff. I thought, what? Am I going crazy? That these guys must have tried to do something wrong, because no one, especially if you study martial arts, you know nowadays with the young boys, yeah, a lot of them, because they don't fist fight nowadays, yeah, that they carry things on them because they don't want to fight. Because if they lose a fight, if two people fight one-on-one, yeah, with their fists, yeah, one loses, yeah, then like the old days and so forth, then the person beat you fair and square. But because the kids are so scared of like fighting fist to fist nowadays, the reason why they fight with knives is because if you use a knife, you use 90% of the chance of you losing the fight, the person hurting you. Yeah. So basically, what is this like? It's a cheat way. So it's a cheat way to basically, if I use a knife, yeah, there's not much chance of me using. That's the logic of these roadman. But the reality is now, is that you didn't realize that everyone else would start using knives. So what happens now is that every time you have a beef with someone, yeah, unfortunately, like in the old days, people used to fight. Yeah, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Yeah, but you get to live. But now, every time you have a beef with someone, yeah, you're using a knife. So either someone goes hospital, yeah, or someone dies, and the other person goes jail, or the person just like gets away. So now every time there's a beef with someone, rather than just being a thing where you have a fight and you get on with your life, people are dying. So because the youths are cowards and scared, and they're scared that if they have a one-on-one fist fight with someone and they lose, it'll be all over social media and people will laugh at them. They want to use the easy way out. They want to use a knife because they're scared to fight. So what happens? So the thing is that yeah, they use the knife, and security guards know that. So before they start on a bunch of kids, they're gonna think like, because you can't tell between college kids and you can't tell the difference between college kids and what is it, criminals. They all dress the same. You know what I'm saying? They're all walking around with, like, mask on. Not all of them, but a lot of them are walking around with like, masks, bellies. So no security guard, yeah, is gonna start a fight with a bunch of boys for no reason. And I don't think he did anything wrong. I respect him. I hope he gets a promotion. I hope he gets a pay rise. You know what I'm saying?